You're watching New Kids on the Block, where we have student leaders debating the day's top 3 stories. And the whole idea is, instead of getting the usual BJP government reaction, we're getting tomorrow's leaders. So here are the day's top stories, which we will be getting the reactions on.
Amidst ongoing protests for reservations in jobs by the members of Patel community, the Gujarat government has announced 10% quota in jobs and colleges for the poorest among the upper classes. From caste quota to class quota, a new precedent, and will other states follow? The Bombay High Court has called Adarsh building the symbol of graft and directed the Centre and the Ministry of Environment and Forests to demolish the controversial Adarsh Housing Society. Is it a case of corruption by some and punishment for all? Disappointed with the IIT JEE mains results, 17-year-old girl jumped off a 5th floor home in Rajasthan's Quota. Since January, this is the 5th case of suicide by a student aiming for the IIT in Quota. Is the IIT dream a nightmare for too many?
So let me just give you the details of what's happened in Gujarat. It has announced 10% quota in jobs, government jobs and colleges for those with income less than 6 lakhs. And the new quota will also add to the already existing 49.5% reservation of minorities. And as you know, the Patidar community, the Patels have been, who are led by Hardik Patel, he's still in jail. They have been agitating for this, and it's brought the state to a halt. Even internet services were cut. But now the quotas in Gujarat will add up to nearly 60%, which exceeds the Supreme Court's limit of 50%, making it like other states like Tamil Nadu, Haryana and Rajasthan. So let's bring our student leaders in and ask if this is the way to go. And for a change, instead of starting with ABVP or NSUI, let's start with, of course, the ASA, Ambedkar Students Association, Prashant Dhonte. He joins us from there. Prashant, what do you think of this move by Gujarat? Prashant? Okay. As the Congress's student wing, how do you see it, Karishma?
See, first of all, I would like to bring some points in front that BJP government has been ruling Gujarat since 15 years. And here's what they have given. 77 cooperative banks were closed. 45% of the children are suffering from malnutrition in Gujarat. 15 lakh educated youth is unemployed in Gujarat. 4 lakh acres of agricultural land has been given to the industrialists. And we can also see, last but not the least, that 70 lakh people over there are homeless. So here we get to know that with these figures, this is what Gujarat government, BJP government has given to Gujarat in 15 years.
Okay,
now,
your time's up, Karishma, on that.
I'll just take 1 minute,
okay.
ma'am. Coming to the
full time is 1 minute, yeah, okay.
I would like to mention here that quotas and reservations were given to OBCs, SC/STs to empower them. And we can look at the irony of the situation that the general class who were well off to do, who were financially sound, now the government, they have to take
Karishma, your time is really up. So Prashant, you can hear me now. Class-based they've done. What do you make of Gujarat government's move?
Class-based reservation is not allowed by Constitution of India, because reservation in India has been based on social indicators, particularly on caste, because in India historically people were divided on the basis of caste. People were deprived out of education and out of property, and of economic access was deprived on account of caste. Hence it is entirely on the social indicators that a reservation has been accorded. Reservation cannot be applied through an economic indicator, and moreover, according 10% to the forecast by BJP itself shows the casteist nature in which it wants to operate, because how economic criteria they want to define, because obtaining an income certificate is very easy, because anyone can tell I am a poor, but one cannot tell, one forecast cannot tell that I am a Dalit, I want to continue as a Dalit. That there is a notion of
okay, Prashant, your time is up as well.
Superiority and inferiority. So
if we can, Vishwanathan, I want to come next to you. Does the left have a different take on this? And then of course we'll get the ABVP to react. Vishwanathan?
As far as reservation for economically backward sections are concerned, in principle, while there is an agreement from the left, I would like to highlight what Prashant had pointed out. So far, these have not been guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. Now, when such things are being announced and they are being assured by BJP and then they are being supported by Congress, what I don't understand is, these two parties are there at the center, both of them have a majority in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Why are they not going ahead and passing a constitutional amendment to bring about a reservation more than 50%? More important than this, what I think is the Sachar Committee recommendations. Sachar Committee recommendations have talked about reservations for deprived minorities, for backward minorities. Why is the government not doing anything about it? Without doing any such thing, going ahead with such steps is actually covering up the problem. The problem is mainly economic.
Okay, Vishwanathan, your time's up on that as well. Your minute is up on that. So we'll take it to the ABVP's Abhishek Kumar. You heard everyone's contention on this. How do you respond? It's a long list, of course.
No, actually, what Prashant was telling, he was telling about the forward caste and something. There is no definition of forward caste. Nowhere we can find this definition, first of all. Second,
there isn't? I mean, he's referring to the Patels.
No, he was talking about the forward caste. But if someone tell me to define forward caste, or even tell Prashant to define forward caste, there is no definition like that. So what I want to say, that it is, you have to give representation to those who don't have the correct representation in the government and something, first. Second, if there is an economic inequality rising, or if there is some caste who were well off at that time, and sometimes you can see that if they are losing out, if they are being marginalized, so you will have to consider that.
Prashant, do you want to rebut that?
Yes, certainly. Certainly, if we look at the overall census of India, according to NSSO report, the other section consists of 28% of the population, but you have 51% to compete. I think in 51% can't 28% compete. I think what reservation is there, reservation is in fact 49% is not enough as far as the figures of the population is concerned.
Okay.
Hence, the present policy of reservation on the basis of caste is only de-reserving the concept of education.
I know that Karishma wants to quickly respond as well. Remember, only 25 seconds for rebuttals at there.
I want to say here that reservation was a concept which came in to empower the weaker sections of the society. So the BJP government in 15 years in Gujarat, they have brought this situation that the general category who were economically sound and financially strong, they also have to get the reservations because of them, because of the BJP government. They have come in this situation, and it might also be a tactic to appease the general category over here for their vote bank.
Abhishek, last words.
I just would like to add
it is just like giving representation. If some changes are coming, we'll have to respond. As per my friend Prashant is telling about the statistics and data. There is
Do you think this will solve the agitation there, and will Hardik be let out?
See, when we are from AAP, when we respond, we don't think about the agitation. We think about what is correct or not. If it is correct, we support. If it is incorrect.
Okay, let's move on now to the second topic, the big story of the day. The Adarsh Housing Society, which was built for war widows but actually ended up giving flats to the powerful, will now be demolished according to Mumbai High Court's order. Nobody lives there since water and electricity has been disconnected, but the building has become a symbol of political corruption. Congress's Ashok Chavan was forced to quit as Maharashtra Chief Minister the same year after it was revealed that 3 of his relatives had been given apartments in the building, but he listened to this. He escaped a CBI inquiry after the governor refused to prosecute him, refused to give sanction. Now Chief Minister Fadnavis has given sanction on that. And I want to take this first to Karishma Thakur. Karishma, he was a Congress Chief Minister. Today Milind Deora, another young leader, has said it shows that powerful can't get away. But hasn't Ashok Chavan get away? He's now your MP in Lok Sabha.
See, the matter is still in the court, and we feel that he gave resignation from his post as the CM, and whatever people are there involved. So the Congress stand is that they should be punished. If they have done wrong, they should be punished by the court. But we also
he got off on a technicality.
Over here, I would like to mention that they will not be able to escape, and the second thing which
Ashok Chavan won't be able to escape.
If I am not taking any names, I am saying that the people who are involved over here and who are wrong proved by the court, then of course they will.
Okay, Karishma, your time is up. Vishwanathan, what do you want to say about this? Do you think all of them get away with political corruption? The politicians get away?
See, unfortunately, the history has one been where political corruption has been there. People have been convicted and eventually they've got down, like the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Let me tell you that as regards the judgment itself is concerned, we do not think that raising down the building is any solution for that. primarily we should enact laws and we should bring the guilty to book, and we should be able to create an environment where corruption does not thrive. Now from 2010 onwards we've been seeing that there are continuous scams. Even now there are scams with respect to defense deals, and you know, BJP is not really far away from this, because you look at how they have reintegrated.
Okay, I don't think we should get into, I don't think young users should get into his scam is bigger than my scam, because that's what you just said, Karishma.
It is very unfortunate that the BJP, which is now ruling, is also not something which is unsullied by corruption. So they should answer for Yediyurappa and why they are bringing back as BJP president in Karnataka.
For your opening remarks, so let's take it to Prashant. Prashant, your take on this.
No, basically the corruption charges, or even for that matter black money issues that have been existing in this country have not been addressed properly, because that is the money of the poor that is being evaded and that has been transferred, and also when it comes to other scam also, I mean, none of the government, irrespective of the political party or in existence, I think this should not happen, because there is the money that was supposed to go into the development of the people, which has been misused, and now present government is also, even for that matter, if I was supposed to speak about the corruption, see, in Swachh Bharat, there was the budget allocated for SC and ST. It is higher than the original proportions that were allocated, and there is also allocation of budget. That is also a sort of corruption, and that is a diversion of funds
that are allocated for SC into another budget. Your time is up. So I'm sorry. I know it's tough doing it in a minute, but yeah, Abhishek.
See, everyone is trying to hustle the issue. Someone is trying to take the issue here and there. I will speak only on others' scam. A scam happened.
That's because
politicians are involved. Case is there in court. Court gave a verdict. What is the problem? The person were guilty.
No, the problem is that sanction wasn't given by the governor.
See, that's, I know, that's a technicality.
So he's not been tried.
There are technicalities. But the problem which were created by the Congress government is being solved by the court.
Is it being solved?
It looked like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's just, our final debate today is of course about, it's a tragic story about a 17-year-old, an IIT aspirant ending her life in Quota of Rajasthan. Now the girl was studying at a coaching institute and committed suicide today as she was disappointed with her score at the IIT joint entrance exam. Tripti Tripathi jumped from the 5th floor of her residence. And why we are, I just wanted to take it up with the student leaders, is that for a long time now, whether it's UPA government or the NDA government, the HRD ministers have tried to tackle this. They've tried to tackle this by having helplines, they've tried to tackle this by having also other things like committees, recommendations, taking away the class 10 exam, but nothing seems to have worked, because in Quota, in fact, she's the 5th case of a student suicide in Quota just this year. More than 70 have committed suicide in the last 5 years. And I want to ask our student leaders if they have a big idea, because nothing has worked till now, if they have one idea of what will help. Do you want to go first, Karishma?
Yes.
All our student leaders should just think about this. What is their big idea to stop these student suicides because they can't get into an institute or because of some exam? What's your big idea?
See, I personally feel the government can take few steps, but it is mostly on the parents and the family how they deal with the situation, because they give so much of pressure on the students that you have to score well or you have to pass such an examination. So here what I personally feel is the parents should be their friends. Parents should understand the concept, and there should be coachings and institutes for de-stress also, how to manage your studies. Secondly, over here, when I read this case, there was a point mentioned over here that they were forcing her to pursue engineering. Parents should also
you're putting the onus all on parents, that they have to fix themselves. Abhishek, what's your big idea?
Not only parents, but whole society will have to take the responsibility, because everyone, even friends.
No, but I'm asking you for a fix. I know what the problem is, but how do you resolve it?
As a student organization, we can come out with some ideas like going to people and telling that this is not only one avenue of the life, or that only not is only one solution. It's not only one thing that it is to solve all the problems. There are other things, other chances are there, and this will take some deep thinking. No one can come like just a quick fix solution. This is a big change.
Okay.
We will have to work together with whole society.
Okay.
So,
Prashant, do you have any, and do you think any government has done particularly well in this, or do you have a big idea about how to tackle student suicides?
This suicide is basically a systemic failure because it is on account of the corporate competition that has emerged, where each institution tries to train its students. They use students as commodities and they want only ranks to be getting. They don't want to impart knowledge as such. And in that process, students also become part of this structure, and they also aim at a rank to obtain so that they can go into some other institution. But they do not. I mean, this is the way it has been run. For example, if I were to take an example of an institution called Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, there the education is not in the similar manner as it happens in the private corporate schools. Here, all-round development of student happens, unlike the corporate school where they will be grinded to get certain ranks. Hence, the present government also, I think, they are encouraging this private corporate education, wherein they have also cut down the budget on the model schools. And
what Prashant is saying is actually very holds a lot of weight, because Prashant, of course, is a friend of Rohit Vemula, and you know that his suicide became the really big story, but it was for a completely different reason. We of course have to hear Vishwanathan's big idea on this, how to tackle it, and Abhishek, I think, wants to rebut that as well. So we'll take a short break. New Kids on the Block will be right back. There's been a suicide of an IIT aspirant in Quota. It's just the 5th. Just this year, 70 have committed suicide in the last 5 years. We're asking our student leaders on New Kids on the Block if they have a solution for this. And I wanted to just ask, everyone's commented. Vishwanathan Venkatraman of the left, what would you like to say?
To begin with, I would again point out to bring attention to what Prashant had told. It's a systemic one, and fundamentally the problem is with the broader economic policy and the education policy followed by the government. Firstly, you are privileging a certain few institutions, giving them a lot of funding and making them to look like they are the holy grail in the Indian education system, while you are starving a lot of other institutions. Secondly, the amount of employment that is being generated in the Indian economy ever since the onset of neoliberal reforms since 1991 has always been one of jobless growth, where you have on the one hand not much employment is generated, therefore, and the sort of competition that is generated for these privileged places increases, and that creates this pressure. And as far as the solution for this is concerned, we would like to we would go among the students. We would go among the students and give them confidence and courage, and saying that it is not their mistake that they have failed in these exams. It is the mistake of the system, and to train their guns against this education policy to bring about a more democratic education policy. That, I think, is the progressive way forward.
Okay, and so just talking to the students, I think everyone's tried to do that with those helplines, and I think in Delhi, the education minister started talking on the radio to tell parents to fix themselves. So these solutions are there, but I don't know if they're really working, and so it was good to have the student leaders talking about that. Thanks to all of them. That's it on New Kids on the Block. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.